You're not saying that they food tonight. This is a day. Oh, that's just gone.
Let me welcome all of you to the 2023 Mowshowitz Award Ceremony. We're honoring our Rabbi, Rabba Sara Hurwitz. Thank you so much for accepting this award. I'm most honored. We have a number of people who will be speaking this evening. I hope they all adhere to an old proverb which says, "Blessed are those who are brief, because they will be invited back." And let me also welcome the people on Zoom who listen tonight. And I thank all of you for not wearing what they're wearing on Zoom. So thank you so much. I love Rabbi. I've known him since my first day at Yeshiva University. And he was one who was always embracing. He wouldn't just sit and talk to you. He would invite you to Toby, invite you to the house, and spend Shabbat. And to me, he's always been the gold standard of a rabbi. So I know you feel privileged to have him. We also, the rabbi, feel blessed that he's with us. And Rabbi, I posted bail for you so you could stay here for a few hours. Would you all please rise for the anthem led by Daphna, Israel, guitar singer and songwriter. Daphna.
You will see by the dawn, look so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleam, whose bright stars and guiding stars through the heavens. We
In one of Rabbi Mowshowitz's books, he talks about a town in the Midwest where the town hall had no electricity. In order to illuminate that place, everyone had to bring a lamp. The more lamp was obviously the more light. This synagogue is also very fortunate to have a rabbi who brings a lot of light and a lot of love wherever he goes. I know we often say you have to live and learn. With Rabbi Stephen excellent, but you have to learn, then you know how to live. I give you Rabbi excellent.
Bruchim habayim b'shem Hashem. How blessed we feel in this God's house, the home of our community. Welcome to our Rabbi community, Maharat community, friends and supporters of our dear Rabba Sara, and New York rabbinic colleagues. Our home is your home, not just tonight, but always. What a joy to be together this night. I'm filled with gratitude tonight to the New York Board of Rabbis and to the Mowshowitz family for two gifts. The first is the gift to our incredible Rabba Sara of the Rabbi Israel and Libby Mowshowitz Award, an award given to rabbis who excel in public service, just as Rabbi Mowshowitz did. Thank you to the Mowshowitz family and the New York Board of Rabbis for acknowledging and recognizing Rabba Sara's global Torah leadership. Anyone who knows Rabba Sara knows how beyond well-deserved this award is. 20 years of rabbinic service, going back long before we were allowed to call it rabbinic service, since the day she started here in 2003. Thousands of lives touched and transformed through our Rabbi. And now through Maharat, scores of communities and many more thousands of people inspired, challenged, and uplifted in their Judaism and their moral vision. A world changed profoundly for the better, for women and men, for girls and boys. But the Mowshowitzes and the New York Board of Rabbis have given a second gift in this award. It's the gift to all of us, through this award, to be able to step outside the daily and weekly rhythm of Rabba Sara's service and leadership that we experience as ever presently as the air we breathe. To step outside of that for a moment and gather pause, reflect, and appreciate what we have in Rabbi Sara right here at home. Rabbi Sara, your kindness, your wisdom and knowledge, your humor, your clarity of vision, your drive, and your indefatigability, your personal, passionate, and detailed care for every one of us is a gift. For Rabbi Sara, no dream is too big, and no chesed is too small. No dream is too big, and no chesed is too small. These hallmarks are what make you a rabbi and a hero. And tonight, we, your flock, get to pause, appreciate, and celebrate that. In this season, we read weekly from Pirkei Avot. Chapter 1, Mishnah 3 states, Havu ka'avadim hamishamshim et harav shelo manat lekabel pras. Our religious orientation in this world should be like servants who serve, not on condition of receiving a reward. What kind of a description of a mode of service is this? The commentaries put a positive spin on it. Sheyehu ovdin me'ahava. The service not out of interest in a reward is best expressed as service from love. Service from love. Love for Torah, love for every person, your family, your students, your colleagues, your communities. Love for God flows through you, Rabba Sara. And so for the person for whom it's only about the love and never about the pras, the reward, and how you try to evade this honor because that's who you are. For the person for whom it's only about the love and never the reward, it's most fitting to offer this pras, this reward. And we are so honored to be here to celebrate that with you, your family, your colleagues, and your community tonight. Welcome to all, and let's have it.
Sorry, I know he was telling the truth because your husband kept nodding yes after everything he says. That to me says it all. Well, Stephen, when I spoke to you on the phone, you impressed me when you said try to begin on time, conclude on time, you hold to a schedule, which is different than what I learned when I first became a rabbi many years ago. I started in the synagogue in downtown Brooklyn. It was my first Shabbat there. The president of the synagogue was Samuel Kaplan. I said, Mr. Kaplan, first time as a full-time rabbi, how long should I speak? He said, you speak for as long as you want. We're going to leave at 12 o'clock. Thank you for the very strict guidelines. The New York Board of Rabbis, which is the largest interdenominational within the party, has rabbis coming together, putting denomination aside, and recognizing that we're all part of that klal rabbanim, all part of one family. I was talking with Rabbi Libby, a reform rabbi who was an officer of the group, as Rabbi Sara was. Rabbi Rabba celebrated with others her 25th anniversary year of ordination. It was a congregation Emmanuel. You know the congregation is. Who was the keynote speaker? Rabbi Sara. Rabbi Rabba said to me, you have no idea what it meant to me that an Orthodox rabbi would be speaking at a celebration of Reform rabbis. Just shows you that we've been able to lower some of those barriers that have separated us too long. So Rabbi Rabba asked me to say thank you again to you for that historic moment in her life. Rabbi Ellen Weinstein is the president of the New York Board of Rabbis. The rabbi of the Jewish Center of the Beach. And I know when he was growing up, his mother said to him quite often, In America, you can grow up and become president. Now, I don't know what she did, but I know we're very thrilled that he became president of the New York Board of Rabbis. You know that titles very often are emphasized. We put a title before a person's name. For example, talk about Rabbi Mowshowitz. Years ago, that wasn't the case. We would speak of Moshe Rabba. The title came after the name. Catholics do the same. They have Timothy Cardinal Dolan. Title comes after the name because it's a reminder that while it's important to have the diploma on the wall, you have to also have the decency as a person. Because my father would often say in Yiddish, Menschlichkeit is mehr von alles. Decency matters the most. So let me introduce someone who has the diploma on the wall, has boundless decency, Rabbi Eli Weinstein.
Thank you, Rabbi Potasnik. Friends, it is an honor and a pleasure and a privilege to be here this evening and offer greetings on behalf of the New York Board of Rabbis. As was mentioned, it's the largest organization of rabbis, interdenominational rabbinic organization with over 750 rabbis. People must love it so much that long after they move away from New York, we're still members of the organization. They forget to resign, but we'll keep them anyway. But it is very special for me to be here tonight for a few reasons. One of them is my admiration for Rabba Sara. I've known her for basically 20 years at this point. She was just a girl. In addition to my admiration and connection, it's really because she personifies what being part of an organization like the New York Board of Rabbis is all about. They sometimes call members of organizations, you're a chaver, you're a member. Chaver is, of course, friend. And one of my reasons for being part of the New York Board of Rabbis, people say, what does the Board of Rabbis do? What do they accomplish? Is it just meetings? Is it just honors? Is it just dinners? No, sometimes people just are associated, but it's because of the chaver shach. It's the idea of chaver, being part of something. The word chaver, of course, comes from the shoresh, l'chaber chibur, to create connection. And I was not going to miss an opportunity to come out to the Bayit, which is a place which personifies connection, which is the location of some of my favorite rabbis, Rabbi Exler, Rabbi, who is my Rebbe in Ahavat Yisrael, Rabbi Sara, and the entire team, a place which has created so many connections to Klal Yisrael, in Torah, in education, in activism, in Eretz Yisrael. This is a place which personifies people. And I'm representing an organization that tries to live up to the people, connecting Orthodox, conservative, reform, whatever the denomination might be called. We're there to create connection. And we're here to honor someone who has been making so many of those connections, whether it be within her community, her congregational community, the Maharat community, the community of Klal Yisrael. Rabbi Sara, you represent Tzibur. And that's why I took President's privilege to make an officer of the New York Board of Rabbis. And it's special to be able to be here for you to be the first female Orthodox recipient of the Mowshowitz Award. Once again, pushing the envelope forward in Chibur and making connections and serving as a role model for Klal Yisrael. I'm glad you're joining the club. I'm a proud recipient of this award as well in 2015. And was inspired by the opportunity to be honored by the Mowshowitz family. I know last year's honoree, Rabbi Skogan, is here and is also part of this elite group of chevra who were there to try and move forward the values represented by the award, but really to be in this space, in this place, at this moment, so that our organization really is enriched by being able to give you this award this evening. That's why I'm here. That's why we're all here, and continue to respect and honor all that you do, and lead us forth into your chaver shach. You're modeling the connection for your family, for your community, for Klal Yisrael. Greetings from the New York Board of Rabbis.
I hope all of you will visit our website and see all the great work that it does. And we're now embarking on an international project. We're going to be forming the International Conference of Rabbis with boards around the country, and in countries where you don't have boards, with rabbis who serve various communities. We just had a rabbi join us from Uganda, who's a member of the Rabbinical Assembly, the Sara body. He just became a member. We have rabbis really throughout the world, so we look forward to that next step. But one of the things we do, we think very proud of, is we have chaplains who serve various challenged communities. But one of those is Rabbi Gabe Kretschmer, who's here this evening. He's a chaplain in Rikers. And I have to say, Gabe, I mentioned this to you before, since you became chaplain, the population has increased. So I don't know what you're doing for a membership campaign. But the truth is, we get letters. We get letters from people incarcerated, because we oversee not just city, but also state. We get letters from incarcerated saying, we look forward with such anticipation to the visit of the chaplain. Because when you're living in somewhat of an isolated setting, human contact means so much. So, Rabbi Gabe Kretschmer, thank you for all you do as chaplain. We're going to have the opportunity tonight to listen to both Mowshowitz children. One a doctor, one a lawyer. The fulfillment of the American Jewish dream. Now, first you're going to hear from Dr. Sara, who taught rather, cellular molecular immunology. Earth science wasn't good enough for you, you had to go to the highest level. And so one of the things that you said to me, which is also very impressive, is make sure you mention my wife, because I'm so proud of her. She's also, like Sara, a biochemist. She's a recipient of Columbia University's Presidential Excellence in Teaching Award. So thank you for mentioning that to me. And it shows that you are deserving of the excellence in selecting a spouse award. I give you Dr. Sara Mowshowitz.
Dear friends. My dad, although Michelle used to say that a speech, in order to be immortal, need not also be eternal. So I'm going to defer mostly to my sister, who will talk about our departed parents. All I want to say is that if you had told me in the 1950s, when I was a student at the Yeshiva of Central Queens, that when I was 80 years old, I would be doing Daf Yomi, the daily study of a folio Talmud page with my wife, not only wouldn't I have believed you, I wouldn't have understood what you were saying. So I want to thank you, Rabba Sara, and wish you that your wellspring should travel far and wide.
Thank you, sir. When I came to the Board of Rabbis years ago, one of the people I was very impressed to meet was Rabbi Hurwitz, an exemplary rabbi, chaplain, chess player, right? And really what impressed me about him was that he didn't know about a generation. He was able to sit with rabbis of all different ages and all different backgrounds and relate to them. Tonight you're going to hear from Sylvia Holmes. Sylvia has an illustrious career. She teaches Indiana University law school. She handles death penalty appellate work. She's responsible for legislation in cross-racial facial identification. And you know, very often there are people who make erroneous identifications based on stereotypes. Sylvia was able to enact a law that when a judge gives instructions to those listening, mentions, don't forget, the identification may be erroneous, maybe based on, inappropriate facial recognition. So Sylvia, you've saved lives over the years. We're very proud of you. Sylvia, Professor.
Together with my dear brother, Dr. Sara, it is my honor and privilege to present the Mowshowitz Award to Rabba Sara Hurwitz. Our parents would have loved to meet her, not only as a colleague and friend, but as an ally in the sacred task of making our tradition accessible to all. Like our parents, as really Libby Mowshowitz, Rabba Sara is grounded in tradition and advocates for progress in their authentic and vibrant voice. Rabbi Sara received her ordination after years of intense study from two far-sighted spiritual leaders, one our own Rabbi Avi Weiss is here today, and Rabbi David Sperber. It was an historic event with far-reaching implications about the future of Judaism and women's place in it. Rabba Sara has used her new status to create a quiet revolution. She devoted herself to ensuring that other women would also have the opportunity of serving the Jewish people as rabbinic leaders. She co-founded and is president of Maharat, the first institution to ordain Orthodox women as clergy. Maharat is the acronym, as you probably know, for Manhigut, Halacha, Ruchaniut, and Torah. Leadership, Jewish law, spirituality, and Torah. That is the perfect way to describe Rabbi Sara's mission. She has carried that mission forward as an honored member of the rabbinic staff here at the the Hebrew Institute of Riverdale. This institution dedicated to serving the entire Jewish community by warming and embracing all Jews, regardless of affiliation. It's not surprising that given her accomplishments and devotion to the cause, Rabba Sara has received many impressive rewards and honors. So I just want to name a few. Very soon after her ordination, she was awarded the Hadassah Foundation Bernice Tannenbaum Prize, which recognizes emerging professionals who have made innovation and innovative contribution to advance the status of women and girls in Israel and in the United States. She received an award from the Southern New Jersey region of Hadassah as someone who had made significant contributions to Jewish life. New York UJA honored her as a trailblazer, and she was included in the Jewish Week, in the fall, and in the Newsweek's most influential young spiritual leaders. It's fitting that Rabbi Sara now adds the Mowshowitz Award to her many honors. Let me tell you a little bit about our parents and how I know they would have been so proud for Rabbi Sara to receive the award in their name. Our mother was the daughter of a man known as the Major Hurwitz. He was brought over from Russia to become the first head of the Yeshiva University Rabbinic School. Sara and I never had the privilege of knowing him because he died at the age of 50. But we know how he influenced our mother. He believed in educating his daughters as well as his sons. He saw our mother's many abilities and her talents and recognized she had a special gift for mathematics. And because of this faith in her, and encouragement to be all she could possibly be. In addition to being an extraordinary Rebbe who worked in and cared for the community, she was an accomplished mathematician. Our father, the son and grandson and great-grandson and great-great-grandson of Orthodox rabbis, obtained his smicha from Yeshiva University. So you might be surprised to learn that when I was 12, I became a bat mitzvah in the synagogue where he served as a senior rabbi, officially and publicly. Our father had a keen and deep sense of justice, and he believed that if girls love Torah and learn Torah as much as the boys do, it's only right that they too have a public ceremony to mark their coming into Jewish adulthood. And so I stood on the bima at Hillcrest Jewish Center in Queens and chanted Haftorah and sang Kiddush, and delivered a Dvar Torah. Our parents prized learning and kindness and were committed to the ideals of our people. And their commitment to those ideals was not passive. They believed strongly that you had an obligation to act on those values in this world. Both they and Rabba Sara were especially committed to the ideal of Klal Yisrael, and they acted on it. Our father co-founded the New York Board of Rabbis, so ably led by the wise, astute, amazing Rabbi Rabba. There's nobody like him. It's a forum, as you've heard, where spiritual leaders of every movement can gather and collaborate. Rabbi Sara recently spoke at the ordination of Reform rabbis and has worked with the first Reform Reconstructionists and conservative women to be ordained as rabbis. She, our parents, and this organization understand that diversity and unity not only can meet, but must meet for the Jewish people to thrive. This Shabbat, we read the double parsha of Bahar B'Chukotai. It's very disturbing, full of curses and dire predictions of catastrophe, the kind of catastrophe that will befall the Jewish people if they don't listen to God's commandments. In many synagogues, it's the custom for the Baal Koreh to read the passages as quickly and silently as possible. But in a magnificent interpretation of the parsha, Rabba Sara sees hidden lessons. Because, she says, we can take the words of the parsha as a goad to action. And this is what she wrote. It requires that individuals not be apathetic to the darkness that develops the world, but to work towards enhancing its many blessings, not blindly accepting the travails, but work to make the world better. Through her engagement with the world, her insistence that all people, including women who strive to serve, have the opportunity to do so, Rabba Sara has made the world better. So in the name of our parents, Sara and I present you Rabba Sara with this year's Israel and Libby Mowshowitz Award. And as they would, we give you a hearty Yasher Kochachet for your groundbreaking efforts. And we know that you will continue to go from strength to strength.
I'm just overwhelmed and grateful to be standing up here, grateful to see so many people I love, and I'm just honored to accept this, and also grateful for all of you who are online. Thank you for taking time to be here and celebrate with us tonight. I'm so honored by your words. You spoke so beautifully about your parents, and to hear my words quoted back was not what I expected, and really, it lifted me up. Thank you so much, and thank you to Dr. Soul as well for your kind words. This is in memory of your parents, Rabbi Israel and Libby, who embodied so much of what I strive to bring into my rabbinate. And as you already shared, they are embodying scholarship, inclusivity, and community. The Mowshowitzes were compelled by Kiddush Hashem, sanctifying God's name, by representing Jewish values to politicians and other faiths in a dignified and loving way. I'm honored to accept an award that bears their name. This honor has given me the opportunity to pause and reflect, as Rabbi Stephen said, on what has most sustained me over these years. It is no secret that life in the rabbinate can be lonely. That does not mean that I don't have friends and family who I rely on every day of my life. But as my colleagues intuitively understand, Avodah HaKodesh is the greatest privilege and the greatest responsibility. And having peers, colleagues at the New York Board of Rabbis and beyond, and mentors, my teachers and Rabbis, has helped propel me forward. It is no surprise that our tradition is filled with advice about finding friends and teachers. For example, from Pirkei Avot, Aseh L'chai Rav, L'Knei L'Chaver, make yourself a teacher, acquire a friend, to Masechet Makot. Harbei Torah L'madati Merabatai, much Torah I learned from my teachers, Yoter Mehem, Talmidei, Yoter Mekulan. And from my colleagues, more than from them, and even from my students, more than from all of them. I've been blessed with the most wonderful mentors and colleagues. Thank you to you, Rabbi Joe Potasnik, for those kind words, and for making us all laugh. You have been a staunch advocate of mine since I became a rabbi. I don't know the full backstory, but I'm pretty sure that you tirelessly lobbied for me to be accepted by the New York Board of Rabbis, overriding pre-existing rules to make an exception for me. I think you and I may be cut from the same cloth. You look at the world and don't ask how it can be better and more just. You make it happen with a kind smile and a twinkle in your eye. Since I met you, I very quickly and intuitively understood that one does not say no to Rabbi Potasnik, which explains why I'm standing up here today. Rabbi, and to my beloved Toby, everything I've learned from you guys. From giving sermons to fundraising to building Maharat, I've learned the art of tenacity and holding on to a vision while putting one foot in front of the other. And most of all, I've learned how to hold, care, and advocate for the segments of our community that are often overlooked. Thank you for recognizing that fire in my belly and nurturing it until it bubbled over into creating a new reality. For Stephen, it's been a wonderful ride. I may have been here a few years longer than you, but you have surpassed me in the ways you have held and lifted up this community. Serving it with you and learning from you, your Torah, your sensitivity to people, your advocacy has been a joy. And of course, to the Bayit team, to Rabbi Bracha, to Rabbi Ezra, I learned from you, I admire you, and most of all, we just had a really good time. I look forward to continuing to laugh with you for years to come. I'm also grateful to this amazing Bayit staff. Many of you have been here for longer than I have. To Yael, to Shuli, to Bridget, to Susanna, to Phyllis, Brian, Alma, Gio, and Chico. It's really a wonderful team. To my husband, Josh, who told me that he thought the New York Board of Rabbis was an organization of people who are bored of rabbis. I'm very excited that I'm receiving this award. Josh, life is never boring with you at my side. I'm so proud of the family we have raised and couldn't imagine being on this journey with anyone else. I love you and I'm so grateful to my entire family, my children, some of whom couldn't be here today, but that's okay, parents and sister, for your unwavering and unconditional love and support. And to each of you here, the HIR community who has watched me grow these past 20 years and cheered me on, Thank you for letting me be part of your celebrations and your challenges. A special shout out to Daphna, Kota. You have been sharing your music with my family for 15 years, and you're all such fans. To the Maharat community, my board, colleagues, students, creating and building Maharat these last 15 years has been a natural extension of the way I need the world to be. I cannot imagine existing in a Jewish community where women are not at the communal table. Your courage and commitment to this vision has enabled this dream to flourish. To the New York Board of Rabbis, especially to its president, Rabbi Eli Weinstock, thank you for your fellowship and for representing the spectrum of our Jewish community to New York and beyond. You are a moral voice at a time when our world needs to come together, finding bridges that focus on our commonalities and not our differences. I feel blessed to stand up here, and I want to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu, thank God, for bringing me to this moment. Baruch Atah Hashem, Hatov V'Hamitiv. Blessed are you, God, who is good and causes good. Let us say Amen. With all that I'm blessed with, I actually want to focus on that communal Amen. Amen is a powerful concept in our tradition. According to the Gemara, Gadol ha'oneh Amen yoter min ha'mevarech. The one who answers Amen is greater than the reward of the one who recites the blessing. You see, the communal Amen is an affirmation of the blessing that an individual recites and is a public expression of emunah, of faith in God. But there's something else about the power of saying Amen. When a blessing is said, a response is required, creating a connection between the individual reciting the blessing and the person who hears it. In other words, the word Amen creates community, joined by common faith and goals. The power of Amen is the recognition that individuals are made stronger by the community and people that surround them. A mourner must come to shul to elicit a response. At a time when they most want to retreat, we ask them to accept the embrace of community. And in return, the community makes a commitment to show up and say Amen. In essence, saying, we see you and your pain. We can't take it away, but we are here to hold you. So powerful is that communal response, that Amen, that there are times when one's silent Amidah must be interrupted. When you must open your eyes and join the resounding response of the communal Amen. Life in the rabbinate can be lonely. There have been many times over the years when I wanted to retreat, to shut out the noise of disapproval and criticism, like the person who accused me of destroying the Orthodox community after I was ordained, or the cries of loss. I remember a week where I officiated or attended 5 funerals in 10 days. I also remember the people who surrounded me, who lifted me up, supporting me and helping me to keep moving forward. The importance of being held by community was the impetus for founding Maharat. I didn't want to be alone. I wanted to hear other voices of women learning Torah and Beit Midrash and support them in their leadership. I wanted to answer Amen to others as their prayers and dreams of being rabbis became a reality. And today Maharat has grown with a budget of over $4 million, 60 graduates out of the field. Our ordainees are serving in Orthodox pulpits as educators, as chaplains, and on college campuses. And there are nearly 60 more students currently enrolled at Maharat. And to all that I say, Amen. Thank you for joining together in many blessings, in my many blessings, and for answering Amen to all that I've achieved with your acceptance and with your love. Baruch Atah Hashem, Hatov V'Hamitiv. Let us all say Amen.
Or Dr. leads us into Zoom, but I just want to tell you, so as I was listening to you, how you broke barriers. I remember hearing a story of Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson, as you know, broke a racial barrier in baseball. He went onto the field, he saw his wife sitting in the stand. He went over to her, said to her, "You will easily recognize me on the field because I'll be wearing number 42. Let's hope for the day when having female Orthodox rabbi is something that is commonplace. We won't have to say the first. So thank you for breaking the barrier. Let's look forward to many more. Because we spoke earlier, and he's an avid Yankee fan. As is Rabbi Hurwitz, I'm from Boston. And then Natan reached out and shook my hand. Says also much about breaking the barrier. So he learns from you as well. Doctor? Thank you. Some years ago, I walked by the United Nations. There was Rabbi Hurwitz. And I walked over to the sergeant from the 17th precinct, who I've come to know and respect over the years. I said, "Oh, you know Rabbi Weiss too?" He said, "He's a man of great conviction." I said, "I think I know what you mean." You know, you're in a sanctuary that has these magnificent windows. I think to myself, one of the reasons we have windows in the shul is what we see on the inside, we have to see on the outside. Rabbi Hurwitz comes to shul, says much in the service, but does much when he leaves the service. As a matter of fact, years ago, it was at a Quaker service that was conducted in silence. I said to the usher, "When does the service begin?" He said, "Sir, the service really begins when you walk out of the sanctuary. So what you do out there shows how sincere you were in here. I give you our Rabbi, Hurwitz. Erev Tov, everyone. Shoot, my dear friend, Rabbi Joe. Dear, twice is Lashon Haba. And when I think about the history of the New York Board of Rabbis, and the way you carry yourself, I've told you this many times, the words that really come from a deep place. You interact with so many people in authority and power. You interact with all of us. And all of your interactions are really Kiddush Hashem, are the sanctification of God. And we're all the beneficiaries, Rabbi Joe. Shoot, our rabbi, my rabbi, Toby's rabbi, Rabbi Stephen Exler, one of my greatest joys is to step back and watch how Rabbi Stephen has taken the light to higher places, to better places. I'm forever grateful, Rabbi Stephen. To the entire rabbinic staff, I see my dear Rabbi Ezra, humble, back there with Ezra, Rabbi Bracha, speak about Rabba Sara soon. To the leadership of Yeshivat Maharat, Moshe Yeshiva, my dear friend who's become not a student, but a mentor, Jeff Fox, and the leadership of Maharat. I see Ariel is here. Through you, Ariel, Leah, Abigail, Erica, it's a ward that did my, what you've created. And I see Ruthie is here from Yeshivat Chovevei Torah, their synergetic institutions. And of course, my dear Rav Dov Windsor, Jushuto. It's a joy to have you. And the leadership of the IRF. There really is a large community, modern, what I have called open Orthodox community. But these days, what I like to call the loving Orthodox community. What we need more than ever is a loving Judaism. I remember those days, Sara, when you became a Rabba. They were brutal days. They were uplifting days. A dream that you realized. They were brutal. Those days, there was more fax machines than anything else. And a colleague of prominence faxed to me these words. Sara Hurwitz, and all it said was, Sara equals
Sara, how dare you? What does Sara mean? Sara is a misunderstood term. It means authority. And some understand that to mean that women cannot be in the position of authority, of leadership. By the way, I'm looking at the Mowshowitzes, so I have to tell you that in my younger years, I used to hear about your dad, that he was the governor's rabbi. Do I remember right? I think it was the Cuomo years, was it? Mario. But listening to you and knowing about him, much more than that, he was a rabbi's rabbi of his family, of his congregational family. What a joy to have you. Thank you. Thank you for the honor of giving to Sara. And so this rabbi wrote to me, Sara equals Svara. Maybe one day I'll publish a facsimile of that note. How dare you? And I wrote back. And I said, dear friend, Sara also comes from the word Yosher. The Asita Hayashah Tov B'nei Hashem. That's what the Torah is about. Yosher means do what is right, do what is correct, walk the ethical path. And Sara, your name is also associated with Shira. And you do have a beautiful voice. I always tell you that. And you've turned my rock into a song, into an unbelievable melody. I told Josh as we were walking here that it's very hard for me to speak about you, Sara. Because what I feel about you, and I know I speak for my dear Toby, it's beyond words. It's not a vertical trend of thought. I want to paint for you a collage, a kind of rainbow image to try, and I'll be very inadequate. There's no way to be adequate. To paint for all of you what Sara Hurwitz is all about. There is an expression in Rabbinic literature talking about the will. Ein davar she'omed bifnei haratzon. Nothing stands in the face of the will. And I remember that moment, Sara, painting the picture when there was no sanctuary building in front of this space. We were standing in the old bayit, and we were talking about the possibility, the dream of you becoming a rabbi. And Sara had just studied for 3 years at the Trisha. And I said, maybe I shouldn't have said it in hindsight. But we were just getting to know each other well. I said, to get the rabbinic degree, you'll have to study again. And you looked up and you said, another 3 years. In the Passion. day in and day out, you repeated that learning together with Sally. And I would come in and there you would be sitting. Loneliness. But I pray you didn't feel lonely because we were all at your side. It is no simple matter to be the first. No simple matter. And I remember when thinking about what we call then the convocation, only later was it called the ordination. I remember people close to me saying, if you'll ordain Sara Hurwitz together with Libby, the great Rabbi Rabba, person who Shas heart, at whose feet I sit and bow. If you'll do that, you could jeopardize Hurwitz. Because they're really, in many ways, one. And I thought about it. I want you to know what my response was. My response was, Sara Hurwitz only comes along once in many, many decades. It's not easy for Orthodox women to become a rabbi, but to become the first Jackie Robinson, not so simple. By 42. There's another image. Right here was the convocation. We dreamed up that word, Maharat. People would make fun of the word. The critics would call it Maharat. That kind of, those kinds of darts. So we decided we'll be called Rabba. And in all my years in Libby, I'm not saying this to impress, to share with you, all of the pushback from protesting the Auschwitz company, Argentina, the world protesting all the time, Soviet Union, Ethiopian Jewry, nothing compares to what occurred to me. Literally, I felt like my heart disease was coming back. The colleagues who would call would be so grating. I would feel like angina right here in my chest. There were certain colleagues, my friends, I had to make up my mind. So I couldn't speak with them again. And the synagogue was under so much pressure. It was very serious when the White Secretary to her. These are some of the most dear parents, none of whom we ever met, none of whom ever spoke to you, to me. The person Orthodox. And the synagogue was really wonderful, beautiful people. This is my family. They were saying, Sara, what we want to be identified with an Orthodox synagogue. And we're not being identified as such. The picture was that meeting in our home. Many people in the leadership of the Rabbi showed up. And you stood up, Sara. Is. Sara said, being ordained and being a Rabba is my dream. If this is hurting the children, I want to step back. I give away my title. I give away my dream. called Koachatzitzu. Power, attracting, and withdrawing. Most leaders are grabbers of the mic. You step back. You say, I'll make space. One of the most beautiful moments of the history of this space. Maybe with one exception. Everyone said, Rabba, it will remain Rabba. That's the collage. The collage, Sara, of one Shabbat morning, right from here, in front of a packed synagogue. Sara begins to speak, and if one wants to hear the sermon for the German Torah is all about, you have mastered those 20 minutes. Speeches are so deep, so inspirational. And suddenly Sara begins to speak about her reading capacity. Sara's brilliant. But I noticed when she would read Hebrew, it wouldn't always be that smooth. And for the first time, you shared openly. Think about this leadership to show such vulnerability, such truthfulness. You spoke about your dyslexia. Do you know how much courage, how much energy, how much hope you were giving the 500 people in this place? Because everyone has a little bit of dyslexia. Maybe not in reading. Maybe it's in something else. And you turn that into a positive. You stay with it. Not only can you read with the best, you understand text with the best. That leadership quality, and really truthful recognition of limitation is such a strength. And there's one more piece of this collage. It's an image I've been thinking about. Dear Rabbi, force just before we were talking about you. Rabbi, with your permission, I want to give it a biblical framework. The greatest dreams in the Torah is Jacob's dream. He dreams of a ladder, the Rosho Magia Hashamayim. It reaches the heavens, but it's Mitzah Artsah. It's grounded in the earth. It's rooted. It's a strong foundation. That is your greatest leadership quality. You dream of a world, of a Jewish world, of an Orthodox world. It's easy to give this to receive it. You dream of our world not the way it is, but the way it could be, but the way it should be. It reaches the heavens. And yes, my prior colleagues are so right. One of the most beautiful moments I experienced in my life was watching by Zoom the talk you gave at the Temple Manual. The only reason I wasn't there is I was COVID positive last week. Now I'm COVID negative. It's nice. You're in front of an audience. There are many rabbis from HUC. There was a group of rabbis celebrating their 25th anniversary in the rabbinate. There were those who received degrees because of their cantorial studies. And there were master's degrees. There were hundreds of people there. Sara, you created a moment that was surreal. It was almost as if I felt I was levitating. Everyone felt levitating. And when afterwards I said to you, Sara, do you recognize what you did? You said, and I know this to be true. No. Just stood up there, step down. How you have represented us in the Orthodox community. Now only part of our community understands this. They will come, Sara, they're going to write books about what you've achieved. Yet your ladder is not only in the heavens, what's the sense of that it's only in the heavens? It's not foundation. So Sara, you're the quintessential daughter, sister, well, wife, mother. Tell them all kinds of stories of the boys. Attend the Kollel, Mowshowitz was one of your chief critics, and talking to him and having given takes with him. That's greatness. Favorite passages of the Talmud is real greatness is a greatness which is suffused with humility. Favorite. So, Sara, this is you. People can tick off all of your awards, all of your accomplishments. But I need to take some time to talk about who you are. Who you are, soul. And I just touched upon it. Together with everyone, I'd like to offer it tefillah and ask everyone, if you made it, please rise. And Sara, if you could come here, please. Josh, my tefillah is the tefillah from the scriptures. And I offer this tefillah with thanksgiving to the dear Rabbi Joe, Ellie, to senior rabbis, my dear friend, Stephen, Dr. Shaf, Jeff should come up, Ruthie should come up. My tefillah is many years to come. I call Shalom. God fulfill your heart's wishes. Together with all the boys. And I bless you with the words of the psalmist. Ashmi'ini and Kulil. We will always hear your voice. Shema and Kol, the first time it's heard, it's the voice of God. We continue lifting your voice, walking with God, hoping God by walking in front of Him, walking with Him. Hikolech Arev, the voice is so beautiful. Arev, Ayim. The voice brings everyone together like an Erev Torah. Which I am listening to me. Your empathy is so great. Inward longing to make Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Torah Yisrael better. So on that note, I want to ask, get some help singing. So together now this way.